Truck Operators USA. A brotherhood, a helping hand. We got your six, come what may. Together we stand across the land.
Tow truck drivers face dangerous conditions when they are working along the side of busy roadways. In September, a tow truck driver by the name of Troy Caldwell was hit and killed while he was loading a vehicle along the interstate. Now his friends and fellow colleagues are advocating for a law to be passed that targets road safety. WSAZ's Victoria Ware spoke with Troy's friend, who was a driving force behind what's known as Troy's Law.
A life lost tragically when Troy Caldwell was hit and killed by a truck driver. The crash happened on September 25th of last year on Interstate 64 in Bath County, Kentucky. While Troy was loading up a vehicle, he was hit by a semi. Troy's friend and former co-worker, Bubba Johnson, is advocating for a law to be passed in Troy's honor.
When he got killed out there, it made me think, hey, that's the safest guy I know. And if he can get killed, we all can.
Kentucky State Representative Richard White filed House Bill 115, or Troy's Law. It would allow tow truck drivers to use rear-facing blue lights while stationary, helping to make the vehicles more visible and signaling drivers to be cautious.
When record emergency vehicles on the side of the road, it would bring more awareness with the blue light on the vehicle flashing. It would get people's attention to the situation where they would slow down or move over.
The Olive Hill Fire Department is taking part in the safety efforts. Chief Jeremy Rogers says that he was hit by a car while in his command vehicle on I-64.
All of our jobs are dangerous enough, but then when you add, vehicles doing 70, 80 mile an hour that are passing by you and they literally come within, sometimes inches of you. Yeah, it's big. It's a scary situation.
Community members working to raise awareness about the dangers that tow truck drivers face. Victoria Ware, WSAZ, Olive Hill.
Johnson will be going to Frankfort next month ahead of the Kentucky's legislature's decision on that bill.
Welcome to Tow Truck Operators USA community. Today we're addressing a pressing matter that affects us all. The urgency and need for stronger legal protections for tow truck operators. We're joined by two industry leaders, Bubba Johnson and Stephen Rivera, to discuss the importance of passing a Pacific Choice Law bill aimed at safety for all of us. Thank you both for your time and your commitment to join us today. We gratefully appreciate that. So, Bubba and Steve, I just want to thank you for being here. Can you each briefly just share your background in the towing industry and why you feel so strong about the need for this particular choice law bill? What at stake for all of us tow truck operators?
I've not been in the towing industry as long as a lot of the people that have come on board and helped me with this. I started in the towing industry in 2010, and it was just me and my wife, and we started with high hopes and empty pockets. We still got empty pockets. And then over the years, my sons got into the towing with me and everything. He's grown up in it. And then when the death of Troy happened, and knowing what a great guy he was and how safety he was, and just been in the business for 30 plus years and knowing it inside and out, it really made me myself wake up and realize that could be me or my son out there at a minute's notice, because he was on a real routine call, and it's something that we all have done hundreds of times and not thought twice about. It just made me want to push a little harder, because my son's got a lot of years left in this industry. I myself am looking to hand my company over to him within the years to come, or months to come even. And I just want to try to do all I can to push for the industry on the other side of the fence now. I'm looking to get more involved with the other end of the towing industry and push for more laws throughout Kentucky and across the nation. And I'm looking to get more involved with other agencies, become a bigger player on the other issues that the towing industry faces, where we ain't really got a strong enough voice for through some of our agencies that are working on them issues right now. That's just kind of where I'm at. And I kind of got onto this by a whim, man, because when I realized we wasn't going to get no justice for Troy's death, I didn't want his death to be in vain, man. I wanted something to come out of it that was meaningful and forever lasting, because he deserved it, man. A person that dedicates 30 years of their life to the industry, he should get some type of something from it other than just, flowers on his grave. The person that ran over and killed him will never see a day of jail. And if we can get this Troy's Law passed, not only will it make his memory forever lasting, but it will help save the lives of many other operators throughout Kentucky. I strongly believe that. And I think as other states has already adapted this, I think more and more states are going to adapt it. I've had people contact me from Indiana and everywhere else now wanting to help them with their crusade and advocate for it. And I think it's going to be something. I think Kentucky should step up to the plate, being a Commonwealth state, and remind people that we are a backbone of this country, and that we're just as important to the United States as any other state out there. And I think we should help be a guiding light going forward for the whole and tow industry, instead of waiting and try to ride the shirt tails of someone else.
So my parents started McGuire's in the mid to late 80s, before I was born. A year later, I come along, so I've grown up and been born and bred into this industry. It's all I've ever known. It's all I've ever done. It's all I've ever seen my dad or my brother do. We're just a small family business. Been doing this since 87. We run about 15 trucks, 10 employees, do everything for the state, city, local, county police, body shops. I mean, we do about anything. We're all Wreckmaster certified, do as much training as we can every year. All of our guys go through it, whether it's hazmat, Wreckmaster, West Wilburn, any of the training we can get, we take it. Whether it's traffic training, or it's on-hands training, for the industry. Me and Bubba aren't too far apart from each other. He's about 45 miles from where we're at, so we see each other on a regular basis. Have a pretty good working relationship with each other, I would imagine. That's, I didn't know Troy personally. I knew him from passing on the side of the road. I just in my camera roll the other day, I seen where I'd done a job out in Moorhead where they were located. Was coming back from that job, and I rolled up on Troy loading a car on the side of the road, just a routine load up. It's in a bad spot. I was in our 1150 and just kind of rolled up on the shoulder there, blocked flooring. We never had to say anything. He waved, I waved. He was done. We went our separate ways. Like I said, I didn't know him personally, but from what I do know about him, he loved his job. He loved what he done, and he was he was the man for the job. Anytime that it come about, to know him personally, I did not, so I can't really speak on that. Anytime any one of us is out on the side of the road, it's a danger. And in the years that we've been in business, we've had two people hit. Thankfully, no injuries. They were clipped by a mirror or something like that. That's been with a police presence or without a police presence, both. Like I said, thankfully nobody's injured or killed or anything like that. But it's very easy to be distracted these days on the road. 90% of your people are distracted while they're driving, and I just think that something like what Bubba's pushing for Troy's Law here is going to get it done. Because you see blue lights on the side of the road, you don't ask questions. You know something's going on, and you better be paying attention, or there's going to be consequences. That's what I feel. That's the way I see it.
I got you. All right, no problem. All right, so the next question I have here is, what are the biggest dangers currently not covered under the existing laws that y'all see from your perspective?
Honestly, I just, I don't know. I haven't looked at it, but I don't know how many actual slow down, move over tickets are issued. If they're issued, if they're actually processed through the court and people are actually fined. We were looking at it earlier, and it's like a $500 fine to not slow down or move over for a stopped emergency vehicle in the state, and up to 30 days in jail. And I know my life's worth more than that. I know everybody's is. $500 is a drop in the bucket to somebody's life. That's I just don't think that that's adequate. And then a sentence or a punishment, and then if it does get, you do get pulled over, you get a ticket. Is it actually being paid? Is somebody learning their lesson, or is it getting pushed out and just, kind of thrown out?
Exactly.
A lot too.
What's your opinion?
Yeah, I'm really on board with Stevie there on that, man. It does no good to have these laws if they're not enforced. You know what I'm saying? And at $500, I mean, that's the same fine you get out here if you throw a pop can out. I would think not getting over and slowing down should be something worthy a lot more than $500, And, but it does no good to have any of these laws if you ain't got the people you need to have to enforce them. And I think that's where these blue lights is really coming into play here, that people don't really want to talk about, and maybe they just haven't thought about it. There's 1,006 active state troopers in the state of Kentucky, and not all of them are road active, like actual highway troopers, DOTs, or none of that. Okay? Well, they're already very short-staffed and highly overworked. I mean, their workload is way more than they can handle with the staff they have. And then you add us into the factor where we're not now asking, we want more help with us and more protection. We're either going to get these blue lights to where we can run them on our trucks, to where we can help watch our own backs, or we're not going to go out there and do the job for them without them being there. And on a lot of occasions, when the tow truck guy rolls in, there's so much going on for the troopers or the law enforcement, they're already needing to be forced to roll out. They've got domestic violence that's going on. They've got robberies going on. They've got people threatening to do this and do that. So when they see us roll in, we're the, like they say, the highway janitors, So a lot of times when they see us roll in, they shut them blue lights down and they roll out, and then there we are back to where we're at right now. It ain't the issue of us going to be out here playing cops and robbers with these tow trucks. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to be chasing our buddies up and down the roads with these blue lights on. We're going to be parked on the side of the highway. We're going to be trying to do our job as effectively, efficiently, and quick as possible. And all we're asking for is for these blue lights to be able to be ran while we're doing it. And a lot of the problems I've ran into, Lynn, from people that has shown kickback on this, they're not from Eastern Kentucky or even from Kentucky, period, to be honest with you. There's a lot of rural areas in Kentucky where you're roadside ahead of you. There's places you won't see a mile ahead of, okay? So you need something that gets people's attention quick. You know what I'm saying? And there ain't nothing that gets nobody's attention any quicker than a blue light. Even if you're not speeding and you're driving down the interstate and you see a blue light, you automatically put your foot on the brake. It's just an instant, And even if you can't, and I realize there's an instance when you can't get over due to a truck or something beside you. But if you see a blue light, I think it'll make people pump the brake and say, hey, I need to pay attention. There's something going on. There's blue lights up here. I need to really pay attention to what's going on. As before, when you just see yellow lights, it's just, everybody's like, it's just something going on the side road, construction workers, or just somebody working on a guardrail, or so who cares? Vroom, right on by. And, as me and one of the other representatives from the lower end of Kentucky was talking on the phone earlier this week, I said, if there's nothing to the blue lights in Kentucky being effective and helping, why are we having law enforcement to say that every construction job going on in the state of Kentucky now? People here in Kentucky can verify this. Anywhere you go and there's a construction job going on in Kentucky, they've got law enforcement sitting with them now 24/7, I don't feel it would be fair to the law enforcement for us to have to call them out at 2:00 in the morning to go help me and Stevie load up a car where a guy's lost his radiator or blow the axle or something, when they've got real issues that are what you would say more life-threatening at that moment. But see, it could be life-threatening at any moment on our side of the fence because when we're on that white line, yellow line out there working, it's just the same as a domestic violence or anything over here as far as the threat goes, because the next car that passes us could be the car that kills us, and that's just kind of like where I'm at with it. And if they're going to have these laws, I think they should just push a little harder to make sure they're getting pushed at with. And Kentucky did recognize changes to the slow down, move over law this year, actually in July. They made changes to the law. They did add tow trucks and other disabled vehicles and some other things to it. That kind of opened up the window again for the slow down, move over. But still, getting back to the point, if they ain't getting ticketed, ain't getting fined, and these fines ain't getting paid, then it's just, it's just a big sign on the side of the road.
So, Stevie, how would you implement the provisions with this blue light and Troy's law? How would you feel that it would help tow truck operators? What is your perspective on that?
Just like Bubba said, I mean, I know in the state, in Kentucky here, you see blue lights, it means business. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They mean business. If it's a trooper, they mean business. Our law enforcement in the state is great. From the cities all the way to the county, all the way to the state, they're all great to work with. I feel that by doing this, it would relieve workload as far as, like he's talking about, me being on the side of the road at 11, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning to get a car that just, hit a deer or lost a radiator or blew a tire. If it's in a bad situation, that blue light on facing towards traffic that's coming toward you, from the rear, they're going to pay attention. Even in the daytime, they're going to know that means business. What's going on up here? I need to be paying attention. I'm dropping the phone. We're doing it, whatever. Now, there's always going to be a bad apple in every group. It's just the way it is. I'm sure somebody would probably abuse it, but that's where in my opinion, there's repercussions to that. If you're using it incorrectly, take it. You don't get it. If it's a permitted light, or whatever the case may be, I'm not talking as much with these people as Bubba is here, but if I get in trouble with DOT, and they pull my DOT number, I'm not doing anything till it's fixed. I can't legally. And that's just my opinion on it. At least these guys are already overworked with real issues, robberies, domestics, everything. And I just don't feel like he said that it's fair to call them out anytime we're on the side of the road. But there are instances where, that you actually need somebody like that back there, that they know, hey, that's not just a tow truck with a blue light. That is a trooper. That is a sheriff or a city cop. And it's not going to be a 100% fix, but I do believe it's going to make a large number of people pay attention whenever they see it on the road.
My experience here in Texas that I experienced is, with blue lights, it helps us out tremendously. We're in a big, large metropolitan area.
Hey.
For those of you, been to Dallas-Fort Worth here in Texas, that, we got 5, 6 lanes of traffic. We got people that don't pay attention, nothing at all. And majority of them, when they see yellow lights out, they take it as construction majority of the time. When we have the blue lights, they help. But also what we battle too here in Texas is also we have blue lights that are on construction vehicles now. So we deal with those as well. And I feel like, blue lights being, a light that stands for emergencies, you would think a lot of people would choose to slow down and move over and give some room. So I think that's very important. Now, could each of you share an example of a near miss or accident and how this bill could have made a difference in your area?
Well, I definitely know that Troy would be alive today. I honestly believe 100% that truck driver would have been paying more attention had he seen blue lights up ahead of him as to just a couple of little yellow ones. I think if he'd have seen blue lights, he would have definitely been more hold of the steering wheel, know what was going on, and would have paid a lot better attention. So I, for a fact, believe Troy would be alive today, myself. if we'd had blue lights already on these trucks, Pennsylvania and some of these other states have already been doing for quite a while now.
Exactly.
We get some snow up here. Usually it's, I'm sure like it is in Texas, when you get it, people go crazy. Um, there's been instances where we've been out doing winch outs, the road closed, with police presence. And I know for, a couple of years back, we had a really big storm here, ice storm for several weeks. And me and my brother were out doing a job. The road was closed off. Somebody had come out of a side street into our area and just about hit my brother. Blue lights may or may not have fixed that issue. We had the road closed. We had safety vests on. You can only do so much, and it's up to the motoring public to do the rest. We try to be as safe as we can and as efficient as we can on our jobs. Get in, get out, and safety is number one. But sometimes that's just not enough. And I think that adding the blue lights to the back of the truck is going to fix a lot of that problem.
Awesome, man. Now, for a question for both of you, for those of you that are out there, that's a member of Tow Truck Operators USA, you're part of our group and our page, and you may not know Bubba or Stevie and everything. Can y'all give a little bit of history background of your experience for trucks you operate and just kind of give everybody a picture of who you are and your experiences and what got you in the industry?
Well, myself, I just run your average Joe towing company. I've got rollbacks and a couple of old wore out wreckers, that's been around, has some stories to tell if they could talk. I do a lot of, I'm into the junk business pretty big. I do a lot of scrapping, a lot of junk removal, things like that. I run a lot of trailers and do a lot of questionable stuff out here on some of these jobs. But it's just me and my son and my wife, and we're just a small outfit. And what got me into the towing is I moved equipment for the state highway department for 7 years here locally, and I enjoyed it real well. But I absolutely hated my job. My boss was a pea head, so I wanted to make a change in my life. And I broke down one day on my way home from work and was highly depressed. And the guy that stopped and picked me up, he was having a worse day than I was. He was crying and a mess trying to load my truck, and I don't know what I've just stepped into here. Long story short, I bought his towing company by the time I got home that day. And that's how I got started, man. And then I've been fortunate enough to make some really good friends along the way, like Stevie and Sam, their mom and dad at McGuire's. And actually, they've helped me grow my business as stepping up into other sides of the industry from just a rollback and just a small light duty wrecker. I got my first 16-ton off of them and kind of got into the heavier side of stuff. But I'm not looking to grow real big. My son, if he wants to go bigger as he gets more into this, he's 22 years old. And if he goes that route, and I'll be with him 100%. But right now we just keep it. We got 3 or 4 rollbacks and trailers and service trucks, things like that. But we're just kind of your average typical deal. But now Steve can tell you more about his operation because he's a little more advanced. They got a little more skill set over there as well.
Yeah, I don't know about all that, but we'll accept that be. So, like I said, we've got 15 pieces of equipment, power units, everything from rotators to service trucks, loaders, rollbacks, side pullers, bus trailer, low boys who run the 8-axle setup, land all. And now I personally have done everything from take out the garbage and sweep the floor in the shop to clean tools to fleet service, brake inspections, servicing our trucks, run a rollback for years. Finally talked my dad into a side puller on a truck, questionable issues. I love doing side pullers and stuff. We've built some pretty wild trucks with Speedway Wreckers built my first one that I custom built, and then Zips has built some custom trucks for us as well. But we like to do whatever the customer needs as far as what we do at our place. If it's moving heavy equipment, we'll do whatever. Fire trucks, we love doing fire trucks on our bus trailer. Like I said, we just pretty much mold to our customer we got out of the fleet service because that really wasn't, kind of got tired of doing that all by myself and with some, a few mechanics we've had along the ways. And just kind of, he gets old after a while. So then, my uncle who works for us now, he used to all heavy equipment. And we always kind of fascinated by, big equipment and low boys. So we bought a 4-axle low boy and a 3-axle tractor and started moving big equipment. And that's pretty fun. That's a good getaway and a vacation from the everyday record rollback jobs. But it's actually, out in our 1150 today doing some work. So, like I said, we just got to do whatever the customer needs. If it's boom work or transport work, fancy Ferraris or Lamborghinis or whatever, we can do it all. It don't matter to me.
And now, another question I have for both of you and everything, it's very important. Is there a message you could put out there for those people that are deciding to get into the tow industry? Is there a message you would like to tell people that are new in the tow industry or new companies in the industry that you feel that would give a good message and give them good insight?
Like I said, my parents started this company here. Me and my brother own a very small percentage. Take your time and be aware of what's going on and where you're headed. Set a goal, make it there, go on to the next one. That's what we done. My dad was never into semis. He just wanted to do cars. And that was in the mid-90s, early 2000s. My brother graduated high school then. We talked my mom into buying us a big wrecker. Actually, in the mid-90s, we bought that 16-ton Bubba was talking about. That was our first big wrecker with paired with the 600 homes that we had bought out of a junkyard we fixed. Started getting into that, but take your time and just be aware of what your costs are before you just start enough more than you can chew. Be available and be honest. I mean, that's the main thing. You be honest with somebody up front. You can do it. You can't do it. You tell them, and they'll call you back. There's no question about it. So that would be my advice to somebody is, don't be trying to backdoor somebody. Just be upfront and honest with them that you can do the job and do it. If you feel you can do it safely, do it. But if not, let them know that. And that's worth $1 million right there.
Now, to get back to choice law and what we're trying to pass, and for people that are not fully aware of the choice law, we know it's worked for the blue lights to be able to put on the tow trucks, and we know that you're working on slow down, move over in Kentucky, and we know what y'all experience on the different type of roads that y'all have there in Kentucky and the risks that y'all encounter. Can y'all kind of paint a picture of what it's like being a tow truck operator in Kentucky and how this bill can affect and protect y'all in a different, perspective than what everyday person would see it as?
Well, all right, the other operators that's doing our job the same as we do, we all have rollbacks and wreckers, so everybody that's on here probably will be pretty familiar with your day-to-day stuff. Well, the only difference in our day-to-day and other people's day-to-day is the rural area of it. The mountains, the hills, the sight, you're not being able to see that much further down the road, blind curves, extremely steep terrain. A lot of times, like with Stevie and them, they face some severe challenges sometimes with these tractor and trailer type situations where they've got, their rotators and things, and they're working on, places that's up and down like this, trying to do a recovery job. I mean, you got more things working against you than just the wreck here in Kentucky. And, like as far as much as the Troy's Law, how it will really help in situations, my personal belief is when we're traveling down these roads and we can only see so far ahead, you've only got that few minutes, few seconds really to be captured. And I think the awareness is captured quicker with the blue light, especially in Kentucky. It's like Stevie talked about earlier, especially with the law presence in Kentucky. We're kind of, we don't mess around and find out type outfit. Everybody knows law enforcement in Kentucky is firm and they're the best, hands down, but put them up against anybody out there. You know what I mean? I believe just the blue lights would kick into that and people would just really take more hold to how much quicker they need to see what's going on. And I think honestly, I'm being 100% honest. I believe the law would really, really like us having it once they got used to it. Once they seen how much better it helped us all be safer. Because let me tell you, everybody can get hit out there, not just tow truck guys. I mean, the fireman guys, everybody can get run over and get killed. It ain't just us. And we're all out there working on the side of the road together, and we're all family. I mean, anybody gets hurt in this industry, any type of emergency management, first responders, whatever they want to call themselves, anybody that's going out here and providing a public service to people in need is at danger when you're working on the side of the highway. And a cop's life ain't no more important than my life, and my life ain't no more important than an EMS or a fireman's life. We all got one goal at the end of the day. That's to go out here and make our honest living and come back home to our families. And that's all I'm really pushing for and advocating for, man. Everybody's got a million ideas on things that may work, could work, and let's try them all. But I know right now something that will work, that does work, and has been proven to work. Blue lights save lives. And if we get them on tow trucks, it'll help save our lives and the lives of others.
I appreciate that. And a question I had here that's very important, I think it's a really good call to action here, is what can the Tow Truck Operators USA community do actively to support the passage of this Troy's Law bill?
Well,
how can we help you?
I'll be honest with you, man. You have helped by y'all coming on board and just showing interest. There's so many other, I'll leave it as other, I'll not mention and go into detail. There's other affiliations in the towing industry out there that have the capability and the opportunities that you have to come on board, ask questions, find out what we're doing in Kentucky, and could really help shine light onto it and bring recognition to it just by making a simple post on their page or just by sending out a simple email to their subscribers. But a lot of people like to ride the fence until they see if it's going to be a good thing or a bad thing. And if it's a bad thing, well, they never cross the fence. But now if it's a good thing, everybody wants to jump on board and say, yeah, man, we really believed in it. We helped support you. But the problem is the proof's in the pudding. If you're going to get behind something and help somebody and support them, get out there and do it, man. I talked to Troy's family before I started this and said, I want to do this. I want to do it with your blessing. And, and they like, go for it. We'll give you full control. Do anything you want. You're 100% got our support. And as time went on, there's about 660 towing companies in the state of Kentucky. I know for a fact, personally, I've talked to 400 companies, either by phone or by message on Facebook. And a lot of them, ain't had a lot to say. A lot of them has had plenty to say. And then, like when we had Troy's funeral and everything, everybody that was there, I personally had talked to before they was there. And as Stevie can tell you, we had a really good turnout for his last ride. And I'm hoping, I finally got Troy's Law into a committee. They signed it to a committee. So we are going to get a committee hearing now. Once they set me a date for Troy's Law to be a committee hearing, that's when I'm going to need a very strong showing of our towing industry. I'm talking about towing brothers, sisters, family, and so anybody that can come and show up as a large number. We're going to have to fill this committee room, but I don't want to just fill that room, man. I want to fill that hallway. I want to fill that sidewalk. I want them not to be able to get through Frankfort and move for the time we're there because there's so many tow trucks and rollbacks in the way. I want them to see so many yellow lights. We may be a small number, 660, but I promise you we're a very large presence if they call on us and we don't answer the phone. We would cripple this industry if we wasn't doing our part in it. If we didn't show up when they called us, they would see how important we are to them just as much as they're important to us, And, the proof's in the pudding. I mean, it's time to put up or shut up, old saying goes. And I can't never shut up. That's always been my problem. So, I'm here and I've been putting it out there. and the companies that's come on board with me, I'll forever work hard for them and try any way I can, because this old fat boy is just getting started. We're going to do some stuff in the towing industry in Kentucky, and we're going to take care of each other, and we're going to watch our sixes, and we're going to get where we need to go in the future here.
Well, I wanted to personally tell you directly, Bubba, I think it's great what you're doing, what you're achieving, how you're doing whatever it takes to bring awareness, to also to have a good memory for your brother that passed away in Troy's law, and God bless to his family, and also to everybody that has known Troy, just to know his name is not going to be in vain, because what Bubba's fighting hard for is going to happen. What I think is, someone that's been involved in this community, that has gone through this here in Dallas-Fort Worth, when we lost several brothers and sisters of the towing industry here locally, that what's important is for everybody to stand together, to work together collectively. And, there's no I in team, so we got to be together for this. We got to do whatever it takes to make this happen. So what's really important is for everybody to step up, do what you're supposed to be doing, take the initiative, to go down there, to support this bill, if you're in Kentucky, you have no reason not to be showing up, because it could be your life at hand. You could lose your life just as much as Troy has, and we don't want that to happen. We want to protect each other and make sure that everybody has a safe work environment as much as possible. I think that, everything that Bubba's doing, Tow Truck Operators USA in the whole, as a community, from our page in our group, we 100% support you. We have your 100%, Bubba. And I appreciate, Stevie stepping up and go ahead and supporting Bubba on this, this narrative to be able to change something in this industry, which is changing the blue lights, not only for the blue lights, for what Troy's Law stands for is, of course, to change the blue lights, but it's also supporting slow down, move over, awareness for tow truck operators, and to make a difference in this industry. We can't do it all by ourselves. We all got to do this as a team effort. I see a lot of people sit there and, they talk the talk, but they really don't walk the walk, and now it's time to do it. There's different types of nonprofit agencies that you can work with, get in touch with your legislative team there in your state. Go sign a petition for a bill to make a difference. So I do really, really appreciate what you're doing for the industry in your area. And, I appreciate you coming on to our podcast. We're going to be doing a lot to bring awareness. And I want to give you one last opportunity. If there's anything you got to say that you can say to your local law enforcement, to your local senators, is there a message you'd like to tell them? I'd like to give both of them the opportunity to say this to them and to be able to put your message out there.
This is something that you're interested in, then call your legislation, get all your representatives and let them know that you want to be heard and you're behind this. If it's something that you're not sure that you're behind, call Bubba, call myself. I'm sure Bubba has his number posted. If they want my number, they can get me on Facebook, whatever. If I don't know the answer for your question, I'll find it. Guarantee that. But if you're on the fence about it, just call and talk to us. Like, I'm willing to explain it. I'm willing to hear your do's and don'ts. But just standing by not doing anything isn't going to help anybody. Absolutely. So if we can get this going, she's got a good push on this. I'm a firm believer this is going to help our industry 100%. But this can't be done with one or two people. It's got to be a large group of towers in the state to get something like this done.
Absolutely, man.
And I want to let y'all know, though, it will happen. It can happen. We made it here happen. We had to fight really hard in Texas to make it happen. There's other states that had to fight hard to make differences happen. What's really important is to, collaborate with your local law enforcement, collaborate with other first responders that's in your area, speak to whoever you got to speak to. Just do what y'all doing. Keep doing it. I know there's going to be times where, you get discouraged, like, what can we do? We bug the heck out of them. The more you bug them, the more you stay chirping their ear, the more they're going to make something happen because they realize you mean it, you mean business, and you're ready for the change. Like I said, just know that Tow Truck Operators USA is here for y'all. Y'all need anything at all, let me know. If y'all want to get in touch with them, you can always reach out to me, send us a message, let us know what's going on, how you could help or how they could help you. And I'm sure they're more than willing to help. Until then, I thank
Absolutely.
every one of you for being there for us, everybody in the community. Thank y'all for what y'all do, sharing the post. Now, what Tow Truck Operators needs from everybody that watches this video, Tow Truck Operators USA needs everyone to hit that like button, hit that share button, leave a comment, make sure to hit that subscribe. Let's sit here and let's push another 250,000 views on this video. And by doing that, you're going to make this awareness have its presence, and you're going to make things happen. Thank y'all. Appreciate what y'all doing. Be safe out there. Watch y'all 6.